What's up, guys? It's your boy Vic. This is King Squared. We back for another set of videos here, man. I'm glad you're on the journey with me. I hope y'all keep following. Today we're gonna talk about trying to get to your goals and trying to become a successful guy, and some of the things that can hinder you from getting to that point. Now, my belief is, and how I'm going about my life is, right now I don't have a girlfriend right now. I don't even have a wife potentially right now. Like, I am just kind of focused on my goals and getting to the bag and getting to what I want in my life, getting to the money. And I'm kind of putting off family. But I want to make this very clear about my views on how you can become successful. And this is my basically journal for you guys on how to become successful. Is I do believe that family is the most important thing, right? Family, hands down, is the most important thing you have in your life. It's the biggest thing. And in order to really make things happen, in order to really get to where you want to go, I do believe that putting off creating your own family is the best thing you should do. To get to the levels of riches and that you're trying to get to, or to get to the level of financial freedom that you're trying to get to, I do believe putting off a family for quite a bit of time is the best way to go. But I don't want to understate that family is the most important thing. Like, we need to be around people. We need to conversate with people. We need to talk with people. We need to contact with people. We need to feel loved by other people. We need to, really have connection with other people. We need that in our lives. We're humans. We need that. Like, sometimes when I don't get that, I feel like I'm dying inside. And once I get it, I feel a lot better, right? But we need that. We need that in our lives as connection and intimacy. So I think family is the most important thing, right? But I do also believe in order to get to where you want to go, now there's plenty of people who've had families and were successful, but I think the path of least resistance would be the path that would be most beneficial to getting to your goals is to prolong having a family. I just like that's just the path I'm taking. Is like, I just gotta wait a little bit longer before I have a family. And that's the great thing about being a man. You can have kids until you're 40, 50 years old. Whereas a woman after 35 is like, eesh, it's tough. It's tough for her around after that, right? So for me, I understand the advantage I have as a man. I can wait till 60 if I really wanted to. I don't want to wait that long, but like, I could if I needed to. And I feel as though that's the path I'm taking, because I feel like that's the path of least resistance. I believe that, if I prolong this a little longer, I can really start really figuring out my life and trying to get things handled, at least financially wise. Nothing is perfect in life. You'll never get anything perfect, but you can at least get your financials together. You know what I'm saying? Before you step into having a kid and having a wife and all these things, right? Because I'm looking at my own life right now. It's just like my brother. He was trying to get married, and at the time he didn't have a job and things of that sort. So, he was in turbulence in his relationship, right? I'm not saying finances is the reason, but a lot of times finances is the reason, right? And another big reason you got to prolong family, right, is because say you have to pivot, maybe like for me, I'm thinking about leaving my job. And if I had a full-time family and then, I had kids and a wife and all these things, and this business idea doesn't work out, it could be catastrophic for the family, right? Whereas now that I'm by myself, I can go take a risk, quit my job, and go try some shit. And I know that, okay, it's all good because I'm chilling. Like, I don't got no responsibilities but myself, right? Nobody's depending on me right now. So I can still make those moves. I can make that pivot that I think is the best. And that allows me to move freely, right? So, that allows me to do that, right? I remember I was watching some Instagram clip today. It was talking about this woman. She was a lawyer, and her husband was doing something. He was working or doing something, but he wanted to try this business idea. But she was like, I'm sorry, but you can't do it because we got kids, we got a family, we got this, we got that. You can't change. You can't go out and just do this and it doesn't work because it's going to affect everybody, not just you. And that's the biggest thing about being an entrepreneur. You got to take risks, and you most likely are going to fail in most of the risks that you take. But you learn something, and you learn something. You take a risk, and at the end of the day, you learn something from that risk, right? But you can't afford that when you got a family. It's hard to do that when you have a family. And I understand there was a woman that was talking on Instagram that was saying that. It was like, yeah, you can't do that because we got a family, we got this, we got that. It's not guaranteed that that's going to work, blah, blah, blah. And it makes sense. It's like, yeah, right? It does make sense. That's why I'm big on like waiting, because like when you get married and when you have kids, you're taking on that responsibility now. You said, all right, this is what I want to do. I'm going to provide for my family, and that taking risks is not part of that deal. That means sticking at that stable job, making sure the kids get fed, making sure the bills are paid, your wife is good, everything is good, so everything can keep running smooth. So it's hard to take a risk. And if you ain't got a woman that's like down for you like that, or not even saying that she's not down for you, but like if she ain't like trying to take no risk with you, she don't agree, it's gonna be hard to do that. You got the fear of her leaving you and this and that, and you know what I mean? And yeah, it's cool if maybe you had a down chick that was just down to ride with you. You know, really down to ride with you and really down to make some shit shape. But it's hard to find that these days. I mean, these girls have so many options. It's like they can do whatever they want. So why stick it with a guy who could or could not make it, where I could use my best years to find a better guy? Like, you know, those are their options. They could use, if she's 28, she's fine as hell. She can go find like a more successful guy who has a stable job, this and that, instead of trying to risk it with you. You know what I mean? It's fair. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand why a pretty girl would leave a dude that's just trying to get it, just trying to make it, and hasn't made it, and might not make it. I can understand the logic in between going with a more successful guy. I can understand that. Like, that makes sense. So I don't blame girls who do that. And guys who shame girls who do that, hey, man, that's on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just the life we live as a man. Like, you just got to be better. It just is what it is. Be the best you can be. But to wrap this video up, it's harder to get to where you want to go when you have a lot of baggage, or when you have, and I don't want to say family's a baggage, but like when you have a family, it's harder. But don't get it fucked up. I believe family is the most important thing. I do. 100%. Every man should have a family one day. I don't think you're a real man until you have that kind of responsibility. I don't think you're a real man until you have until you have a wife and a kid and you're taking care of that wife and kid. If you have a wife and kid right now and you're taking care of your family, you are a real man. I don't give a fuck. Now, you're doing your best. You might be struggling. Things will get better. Things will get to where you want to go. But to take it to the level of outlier, top tier type of dude, it's going to take some big kahunas. It's going to take some real risk, and it's going to take some real grit, and it's going to take some real grind. It's going to take some real sacrifice. Now, if you're alone, you can take that on the chin. But when you got a family, you got a wife, you got a kid, it's almost unfair to make them go through that. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of selfish in a sense, but you know that it's going to be for the greater good later. Now, you have to, and then, you know, and it can work. It can definitely work. I definitely believe it can work. But you're going to have to talk to your wife. You're going to have to talk to your kid and like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I think this is going to happen in 3 to 4 to 5 years. We can make this really work if we just come down, grind, and do what we need to do. We can be a lot better off in the next couple of years. But I need y'all to know what's going on. All right? It's going to be rough. It's going to be tough. But I need y'all to believe and keep supporting and just believe in the vision. And we're going to make this shit happen. And that could work. But I do feel like it's a lot easier when you're just single and you just do it. You just take the grit on it. You just take the hit on the chin, but you can do it because you're by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at things. That's how I look at life. That's how I look at just success in general. It's like you could run up this mountain with a t-shirt like this, super lightweight, or you can run up the mountain with a 50-pound weighted vest, right? It's probably gonna be a lot easier with a t-shirt. And the goal is just to get to the destination. And I'd rather be running up the mountain with a t-shirt than a 20-pound vest. But that doesn't mean you can't make it up the mountain with a 50-pound vest. Actually, that probably makes you a lot more, skilled if you can make it up there. A lot more stronger when you make it up there and knowing you could probably do it again, right? So that's just my view on things, right? I don't want to say like, don't go have kids, don't go have a family, because that's the most important thing in the world. But if you want success, I do believe putting it off for a little longer will get you to where you want to go. That's my belief on things. All right, guys. Peace.